Although we've known for some time that Bentley's mighty 626 horsepower twin-turbo 6-litre W12 is approaching retirement, we've assumed that the company's less profligate 542 horsepower twin-turbo 4-litre V8 would outlive it by a few years. That is, until recently. Bentley's recent announcement that all of its vehicles will be either plug-in hybrids, PHEVs, or full electrics as soon as 2026, and that it will produce its last combustion engine by the end of the decade, means that the smaller engine's future isn't any rosier. This 2021 Flying Spur may be the last new car the V8 appears in. As with Bentley's Continental GT Coupe and Bentayga SUV, the union between the V8 and the Flying Spur is a happy one. Buyers of the smaller engine need sacrifice only a smidge of forward thrust compared to the big W12, but they also gain a rosier soundtrack, crisper handling, and a 17 mpg EPA combined estimate, up from the W12's 15 mpg. At $201,725 to start, the V8's $22,200 discount in base price over the W12 is a relatively modest saving in this rarefied segment, and one that will be easily offset by a modest foray into the Spur's pricey option list. But buyers of the lesser car certainly aren't getting a stripped-out model. Regardless of its engine, the Flying Spur's cabin combines exquisite materials with a design that blends modern and traditional themes. Space is generous for front and rear seat occupants alike, and the levels of comfort and refinement remain impressive even when cruising at extra-legal speeds. The only visual distinctions versus the W12 are modest V8 badges on the front fenders, quad exhaust finishes in place of twin ovals, and standard 20-inch wheels instead of 21s. Our test car in England was fitted with a substantial load of options, including the $19,395 Mullinger driving package with its 22-inch wheels and more decadent interior trim, plus the $8,555 touring package, which adds lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, a head-up display, and night vision. An additional $7,730 added rear-wheel steering and Bentley's dynamic ride system with its 48-volt active anti-roll bars. The Spur's rotating dashboard panel, which allows the infotainment screen to be replaced with a trio of chrome-ringed instruments, remains a neat embellishment, even if it does cost a substantial $6,425. The V8's character is different from that of the W12, but definitely not inferior to it. The larger engine delivers its grunt with minimal effort across its rev range. The V8, on the other hand, needs to be worked a little harder. But that is no imposition. All of its 568 pound-feet of torque are present at just 2,000 revs per minute, yet it feels more enthusiastic as you explore the upper reaches of its tachometer. It also sounds markedly better than the W12, its exhaust note hardening and gaining a compelling V8 rasp above 5,000 revs per minute, although the oral signature is more subdued here than in the Continental GT or Bentayga V8s. The Spur's standard 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission sharpens the V8's motivation further. At lower speeds, it comes close to delivering the smoothness of a conventional torque converter automatic. Once rolling, however, the shifts come fast and seamlessly, regardless of the setting. The standard all-wheel drive system delivers plentiful traction even during hard launches and should help the Flying Spur V8 reach 60 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds, only 0.4 seconds behind the W12 model that we've already tested. Not long ago, the level of luxury delivered by the Flying Spur's sumptuous cabin would have been accompanied by a suspension with the manners of a thumped waterbed. But the latest model manages to combine endless comfort with dynamic purpose better than almost any other sedan. Body control is exemplary. The combination of air springs and adaptive dampers keep the Spur's 5,000 plus pounds under tight control over all types of road undulations. This big sedan also turns and responds remarkably well. Our test car's active anti-roll system largely eliminated listing from the body under all but the hardest cornering. There are several drive modes, but the default Bentley setting seems to cope well with everything.